In the early 1980s, near the Libyan port city of Misrata, workers were excavating ground for a construction project. It was routine, unremarkable, until they struck something hard. Not stone, not rubble, but silver. What they uncovered would become one of the greatest coin discoveries of all time. A hoard of over 108,000 Roman silver denarii, making it the largest single find of Roman silver coins ever recorded. The coins were buried in an enormous amphora, a type of ancient clay storage jar, which had been sealed and hidden underground for nearly 1,800 years. Based on the coinage types and historical dating, experts believe the hoard was likely buried in the early 3rd century AD, around the time of the Emperor Caracalla or shortly after. So what exactly was in the Misrata hoard? The coins were almost entirely silver denarii, the standard Roman silver currency used throughout the empire for over 400 years. The coin spanned a period from the reign of Nerva, who ruled in the late 1st century AD, through Trajan, Hadrian, Antoninus Pius, Marcus Aurelius, Septimius Severus, and up to Caracalla, who ruled until 217 AD. That's over a century of Roman coinage, representing some of the most important emperors in Roman history. It was not just a monetary deposit, it was a preserved sequence of Roman political and economic history in silver. Analysis of available coins from the hoard, many of which have since appeared on the private market, shows that the hoard included denarii minted across various regions of the empire. This indicates that the coins circulated widely before being collected and buried together, likely in one event. If you're enjoying this deep dive into ancient history, consider subscribing for more content just like this: hoards, mysteries, and the untold stories of lost civilizations. But despite its significance, the Misrata hoard was never properly excavated or recorded. The site was never protected, and no trained archaeologists were brought in. Instead, the hoard was quickly removed by locals, dealers, and smugglers, and sold off piece by piece. Thousands of coins ended up in the hands of private collectors across Europe, North Africa, and the Middle East. A few major European dealers, including some in Switzerland and Germany, were offered large quantities of coins believed to come from the hoard. Some were eventually bought by museums, but most remain undocumented. No complete catalog of the hoard exists. There are no surviving records of how the coins were arranged in the amphora or what other items may have been buried with them. It's even unknown if any of the original container still exists. Scholars believe that less than 10% of the hoard has been academically studied. That means over 90,000 coins from the hoard are either missing, undocumented, or circulating in private collections without provenance. From a historical perspective, this is a disaster. The value of a coin hoard goes far beyond the individual coins. When properly excavated, a hoard tells a story about currency circulation, trade networks, savings behavior, political events, even public reactions to new emperors. The order, condition, and placement of coins can offer insights that a single coin cannot. In the case of Misrata, this data was lost. We do know that most of the coins were in good condition, with a high silver content. This makes sense, as the denarius was still relatively stable during the 2nd century. It wasn't until later in the 3rd century that the Roman silver standard collapsed. Some researchers have suggested that the Misrata hoard may have belonged to a government paymaster, a military official, or a wealthy merchant. But without any contextual evidence, these theories remain speculative. Because Libya in the 1980s lacked strong heritage protection laws, and because the country was under international sanctions, no global effort was made to recover or preserve the hoard. UNESCO made no official intervention, and the Libyan Department of Antiquities at the time was underfunded and poorly equipped to handle such a find. The few coins that have been confirmed to come from Misrata often appear in auctions without provenance. Some have entered museums quietly, while others remain invisible to scholars. They are essentially orphaned artifacts, disconnected from their archaeological roots. Today, the Misrata hoard is a symbol of what happens when cultural heritage is unprotected. It is the largest Roman silver hoard in history, and yet its scholarly value has been almost entirely destroyed. Compare this to the Seaton Down hoard in Britain or the Cunitio Hoard, or the Frome Hoard, all of which were excavated with care, documented, and preserved. These hoards provided vast information to historians and archaeologists, not just about coins, but about the lives of people who buried them. The tragedy of Misrata is not that it was looted for money. It's that a once-in-history chance to study an enormous silver reserve from a critical period in the Roman Empire was lost forever. There have been attempts to trace individual coins from the hoard based on stylistic analysis, weight, and minting technique. Some collections now label suspected Misrata coins with terms like North African provenance or possibly Misrata, but this is far from scientific. Without secure context, the coins are just objects. With context, they're time machines. The Misrata Hoard should have rewritten parts of Roman economic history. Instead, it became a cautionary tale, a ghost of what could have been. So what can we learn from it? That even the most spectacular discoveries are fragile. That treasure is not gold or silver, it's knowledge. And that once context is lost, it can never be recovered. The Misrata Hoard is still the largest Roman coin hoard ever found. But in terms of history, it's one of the greatest losses we've ever suffered. If you value stories like this, well-researched, lost to time, and brought back to light, drop a like, share it, and follow for more. Your support helps preserve the past.